Hello my dear YouTuber friends, and I hope you're all keeping well. Welcome to this new video. Things I love about Flight Sim 2024 Episode 4. Helicopter flying in VR is on an absolute another level. In Flight Sim 2024 specifically. You could do similar in Flight Sim 2020, but with the improved graphics, lighting, shadowing, depth perception in Flight Sim 2024, you are in for an absolute treat. If you can get hold of a VR headset, if you're able to fly in VR in Flight Sim 2024, helicopter flying in a busy area, like Tokyo, I'm flying around Tokyo in this example, is an absolute must. Couple of things that I must disclaim here. You are seeing medium spec graphics, so medium settings within the sim. It's all I can get away with in a busy area. My system specs are linked down below in the description. It's basically a 5060 Ti 16GB graphics card with a 5700X 3D CPU, 32GB of RAM. But I can get away with it. And I'm also using a higher end PC VR headset, the Pimax Crystal Light, and I'll come back to that point later. Get a high spec or try it in a high spec VR headset. My goodness, you are in for a treat. You're seeing it with medium graphics. It probably doesn't, looking back at the footage now, in fact, while I'm recording this voice segment, it doesn't look as impressive when you're looking at it on a flat screen. In a VR headset, those buildings around you and the mountains in the background, the tall buildings as you approach them, they are so pronounced in VR. It's really difficult to explain and describe it if you've never tried VR, particularly, like I say, a Clarity VR high-end headset. Really difficult one to explain, but they are so pronounced. The 3D is so pronounced. It's even better, I've got to say. Now I get it. I really get VR. Now I've got the horsepower to run it, and I can run it in decent settings with a decent VR headset. And my God, now I get it. People are saying, oh, you know, you already say I like VR, but you know, I prefer flat screen better. Flying helicopters around a busy area like Tokyo is the best VR experience I've had to date. I'm an early adopter. Let me give you some background on that. I'm an early adopter of VR. I got the Oculus CV1, so it's the original Oculus headset. Was it that and the... I can't remember what came out with the Oculus, but there was two headsets released first on PC. Oculus CV1 was one of them. I got that. PSVR one, the Gear VR for the S9, Samsung S9 when that came out, just to see what VR was about. Early adopter, many years back. When was it? About 2015, 16, something of that sort. Always looking for the next big hit, the next big kick in VR. I found it. I am addicted to flying helicopters. Now I can fly around this in an aircraft, go say 100 knots. Flying around 100 knots in a busy area, you get a good impression. But it's this, when you're flying low and slow and hovering next to buildings. As you can see, I've got a tower, a big tower. That's a famous tower in Tokyo, isn't it? Right in front of me there, right next to me. That is so pronounced in VR. That is right in your face, and you are getting the correct sort of size dimensions in the headset. I think here I'm actually looking at landing on this helipad. Tokyo, by the way, is a great place to fly around if you like helicopter flying. You've got lots of rooftop helipads on tall buildings around Tokyo. I do coming for a land on one of them later. Some of them look better than others. It can be hit or miss in Microsoft Flight Sim generally, Flight Sim 2020, Flight Sim 2024, on how well buildings rendered when you get close to them. Some look better than others, so it can be a bit of hit or miss. But yeah, like I said, the buildings are so pronounced in the headset. Probably come on to that part now. I am flying, in the footage I'm showing you here, was in the Pimax Crystal Light. It's a higher end PC VR headset. You really want to try it in a headset similar, perhaps the Quest 3 or the Pimax Super. I'm using the Crystal Light as it seems better suited to my system and I get better performance from it. So you could, if you got a similar system, you really want to be eyeing up something like the Pimax Crystal Light. Perhaps the Super if you got a beefier system. You get even a better resolution with that. But you really require that to get the best of VR, particularly in something like this. It is kind of coming across the buildings, the depth perception you get when looking below you. And you can do that in VR. Turn your head. Point your head down. You can look below you. If you suffer from vertigo, watch out there. You see I'm eyeing up that green bridge there. It all looks so beautiful in the headset. It's a shame Xbox never got VR, but PlayStation 5 owners, if it comes out early next year, you are gonna get a heck of a treat. I think in particular PlayStation 5 Pro owners with the PSVR 2 headset. I don't think it's too far removed from the Quest 3, the resolution of that. I don't know all the technical bits and pieces about the PSVR 2 headset. I know it's not quite as good as the Quest 3 or obviously the Pimax Crystal Light as I'm using here, but it's still got a good resolution. You are going to get a similar treat when you get VR release for the PlayStation 5. I do wonder how the PlayStation 5 standard will fare in VR. I think they're going to have to lower the graphics down further for that, perhaps bordering on low, medium. You may get similar, but I'm just wondering around a busy area like Tokyo here, how that's going to be pulled off on the standard PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5 Pro though, I think you're going to get similar to what I'm seeing here. What a treat you are going to get. I think here now, I did find a helipad to land on one of these buildings. Just to the left of me, there you go, you can see me kind of looking there. There we go, starting to look. I do go for a landing here, a successful landing. My goodness me. I'm absolutely addicted. I have to do this almost nightly now, depending how I feel at night. So if I'm knackered after making a few videos or a hard day doing something. But I kind of like thinking, oh, I've got to get my VR hit. This is now my VR hit. I'm looking... VR owners, those of you who already fly helicopters in VR, how close is this to the real thing? Just feels so visceral, so realistic. PlayStation 5 owners, get flying, get comfortable with helicopters in the beta while it's still running. Trust me on that one. It's okay flying aircraft in VR. Fly helicopters in VR. It's on a whole new level. I've not seen anything like this in VR. But how realistic is this, helicopter pilots? It just feels you are flying and you are in a helicopter, and it's just the superimposed buildings around you. For those of you looking for a VR headset, I can vouch for the Pimax Crystal Light. My affiliate link is down below. If you think these graphics look good on what you're seeing here, my goodness me, those buildings are super clear, super close, super realistic. The graphics, shading, lighting of Flight Sim 2024 really brings it home in a good VR headset. This is one you'll have to try. Let me just land the helicopter here. Obviously, I'm talking over the footage that I previously recorded. Didn't want to talk in the footage because then you get that shaky sort of head movement. So I'm just doing a voiceover after the fact, just to give you the best footage. If you ever get a chance to try this, my friends, try this. There we go, coming down for a land. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Give this video a like if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. And I'll see you soon.